Well, hello. Welcome everybody to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. My name is Alex, your host, UnrealEntGaming, and today, everybody, we have a lot of questions to cover because I wasn't here last weekend. I had to go wrestle in Maine. Nonetheless, everybody, it was just a great atmosphere, great crowd, great company, so I'm really happy that I actually went out to Maine and I actually wrestled out there. It's actually very fulfilling, and it means more to me than anything else to actually wrestle, and because that's something I've always wanted to do and something that I always want to do in terms of profession. I want to be in the WWE, so it actually made me feel confident and made me feel really good going out there and competing, and I had such an extraordinary weekend, so I hope you all had a great weekend as well. As many of you may know, summer is beginning to die out very slowly, so what more can we do except, enjoy the remainder of our days? So everybody, I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode, and let's begin with our first question, which is from Bacon Man. Hey Alex, how you doing? I've been on your channel for 2 months, and so far you're great and a badass. Ooh, yes. I've got two questions for you today. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What do you think of CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, and who do you think will win? Question 2 is a tough question, okay. Who would you tag team with in the WWE? Undertaker, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and the old Rock in the Attitude Era, and if perhaps one of them betray you and you would get Tombstone GTS to the face. All right, well, to answer your first question, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. All right, wrestling isn't fake, but if you look at this match, I mean, in real life, Brock Lesnar is a big dude. I mean, he's probably about 2 inches bigger than me, but in terms of mass, the guy is huge. CM Punk, he's the exact same height as I am. I think I'm a little taller than CM Punk, but, he's also just a little bit, sizable in mass. If you compare the two, right, there's absolutely no way in real life that CM Punk would physically beat up Brock Lesnar in a physical fight. That is impossible. Brock is too freaking massive. Like, the difference in mass and size and strength is just overwhelming. Like, that's like putting a child against a bodybuilder. Like, how the hell are you going to do that? It's impossible. In terms of wrestling, in terms of getting in the ring and competing, seeing who's better, seeing who's a better athlete, I think that in that little realm, I think CM Punk takes that. And this is why I say that. Brock Lesnar, he's straying away from the athletic portion. He went from being an amazing athlete to being an MMA fighter. In my personal opinion, I think Brock Lesnar was a horrible MMA fighter. And this is why. Go back and watch some of Brock's matches, right? When he would get you on the ground, he would fuck you up. Like, Brock Lesnar was the man when he would get on top of you and just pound your face into an oblivion. Yes, that was like some sick shit. Once the guy got you on the ground, that was it. But his stand-up game, when he was fighting you open fist, like one-on-one, he was terrible. He got beat up by Cain Velasquez. He got beat up by Shane Carwin. He got beat up by fucking Alistair Overeem. He got beat the fuck up. Brock Lesnar did get beat the fuck up when it came to standing game. But when he gets you on the ground, that's game over. In this particular match, I do think that Brock Lesnar is going to win at SummerSlam. But in terms of athleticism, I do believe that CM Punk probably may have the advantage over Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar has lost his athleticism over the years because he's done MMA and whatnot. So he's not as athletic, in my opinion, as he was way back in the day. So in this particular match, I think Brock's going to win. But, in terms of character and wrestling-wise, I do think CM Punk's better. So... and to answer your last question, if I had a tag with people, who would I tag team with? I would definitely tag with The Undertaker, man. I mean, who wouldn't tag with The Undertaker? He's a legend, bro. But aside from The Undertaker, I would also want to tag with, probably The Rock, the old school Rock. That would be pretty cool. And if one of them happened to betray me, I would want it to be The Undertaker because that will set up a great story. If The Rock did it, it'd be pretty cool, but can you imagine if The Undertaker just grabbed me and chokeslammed me and then tombstone me and then we just build a story from there? That would be fucking amazing because The Undertaker is the man. I've loved him since I was a child, so I would have to say The Undertaker. But thank you for your question, Mr. Bacon Man. Anyways, on to the next question, which is from Multi-Pluto1234. Hello, brother. I have myself some questions for you for Fan Mail of the Week. Okay, here we go. So let's dive right into it. All right, here we go. Question 1. Do you think there should be any level of Super Saiyan beyond Super Saiyan God? Well, that's an interesting question. Question 2. Since Vegeta has been confirmed, if not, then fuck it, to be a Super Saiyan God in the next movie, should Vegeta and Goku fuse into a Super Saiyan God Gogeta against Bills or Whis? Good question again. Question 3. Do you think Bills is a badass? Question 4. Should Vegito return once again in the next movie only to defuse somehow once again. Thanks for answering, brother, and goodbye. God bless you, man. Thank you. To answer your first question, should there be a Super Saiyan level above God? Akira Toriyama really fucked this up, and if you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans like I am, you would know this to be true, and this is why. Akira Toriyama should have done this. He should have done Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, and then God. Super Saiyan God should be the final level. There should not be anything above a Super Saiyan God. In my opinion, having a Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and then God, it's okay. It makes sense to a certain degree. But then what happens to Super Saiyan 4? What happens to GT? Even though GT isn't canon, you know, there still does exist a Goku who went Super Saiyan 4. So I wish Akira Toriyama were to create a Super Saiyan 4 Goku of his vision, and then after that, perhaps, you know, allowing a Super Saiyan 4 Goku to transform and ascend to the final level, which would be God status. To me, I think that would make a lot of sense, because in essence, you would have 5 levels. You would have Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, and God. Even though Super Saiyan 5 does exist in the fan fiction world, we saw many pictures of Super Saiyan 5 Goku, Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta. It doesn't exist in the actual manga. What does exist is Super Saiyan God, and I think that the overall image of Super Saiyan God does not look as interesting as a Akira Toriyama version of a Super Saiyan 4, because all a Super Saiyan God is just a regular form with red hair, red aura, and red eyes. You know, that reminds me a lot of Kaioken, you know, like, it's just like, come on, Akira, what are you doing, bro? To answer your second question, that would, I think that would take away from Super Saiyan God Vegeta, don't you think? Because, alright, Battle of Gods comes out in about a month, right? So you guys, finally, all of you people will get to see what I saw, right? Which is cool, because then you guys get to see exactly what I was talking about. If they introduce a Super Saiyan God Gogeta, don't you think that'll take away from a Super Saiyan God Vegeta? Because Goku had his little movie in Battle of Gods, right? So if they make another movie, why not just do them two trying to take on Bills Ruiz? Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Super Saiyan God Gogeta, or Vegito for that matter. But let's say they do introduce a Super Saiyan God Gogeta. I think that would be very amazing to see, because then him and Bills can actually have, you know, one of the most titanic battles in history. I would love to see that. I actually, personally, for me, in the original Battle of Gods movie, I wanted to see a Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta or a Super Saiyan 3 Vegito take on Bills Ruiz. You know, that would have been so sick right there. But nevertheless, Akira Toriyama has a lot to do. He's creating a new manga, and I don't understand why. I mean, back in the day, well, not really back in the day, but back in like March, April, when I was demanding you guys to spread the videos, guess what? Our voices were heard. You know what I mean? Like, I had such a huge impact in the Dragon Ball Z realm, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So with everybody's support, with everybody spreading my videos, guess what? We have Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods coming out for DVD. We have Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods being dubbed in Latin. We have Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods coming out perhaps in English, an English dub in 2014/2015. Guess what, guys? What I was saying back in April and March was true. And what I was telling you guys to do, it worked. You guys spread my videos, my message got around, your message got around, we got what we wanted, right? So now there's step 2. After Battle of Gods, we're going to have to see where this goes, because if Akira Toriyama does not decide to take action and, you know, follow up from Battle of Gods, I'm going to start taking action. I'm going to step up to the plate, and I'm going to start making videos to prove to everybody and show everybody that we still care. I mean, because we do care. In terms of Gogeta and Bills and Whis, that would be amazing. But personally for me, I think that they should continue and make a series. That's the only way I can see this happen, because with that kind of magnitude of having a Super Saiyan God fusion, that definitely deserves a series. To answer your third question, is Bills a badass? Hell yeah. I mean, Bills is definitely a badass. He's one of the most badass characters that ever existed in DBZ. And to answer your last question, I do think Vegito should return in a movie. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, we all miss Vegito. We all miss Gogeta. We all miss those two. I mean, I love those two characters so freaking much. They're a lot better than Gotenks, I'll tell you that much. But definitely, I would love to see Gogeta and Vegito come back. I would prefer them coming back in a series, but chances are they wouldn't come back in a series, because we don't even know if the series is being made. But in a movie, I would definitely love that so much, man. But thank you for your question. The next question is from A Summer 6 DBZ. Hey Alex, still loving the videos and you as a person, smiley face. Ah, thank you very much. I still love you as a person and as a YouTuber as well. Thank you so much. Alright, well, it's question time. Alright, here we go. Question 1. You said that in Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, Whis said that if Goku killed Bills, he would become the new god of destruction. Well, do you think it's possible Whis said that to Goku so he wouldn't kill Bills? That's interesting. Question 2. Have you heard of Chugaragari? I would recommend his videos if you have the time. He does some Legend of Zelda and Pikmin strange games, and it's so funny. I would recommend his videos, and if you have time to watch them, okay? Question 3. What freaks you out? What freaks you out more, Slender or The Last of Us? Question 4. Would you like to see Slender versus Yamcha? I would love to see that poor Yamcha. Oh, God. Question 5. This will give you a headache. Oh, here we go. All right. You are my favorite YouTuber. Changakari is my second. This is where it gets complicated. I have to put the Runaways as a third. Changakari is a part of the Runaways, and he is 3 people on the channel, so how do you categorize it? Oh, damn. Shit. That's kind of hard to, try to process. All right, well, sorry about the last question. You don't have to answer that. Keep up the good work, my friend. Love, Alyssa. Thank you, Alyssa. Love you, too. I hope you have a great day. Well, to answer your first question, why would he tell Goku if he didn't want him to kill him? I think Whis saw the potential in Goku. That's why he pretty much. I'm sure Whis knew that Bills was gonna win, but just in case, he probably just told Goku like, "Hey, listen, just in case, like, if by some sheer coincidence you're able to kill Bills, I'll grant you that power of being, God of Destruction." So, and if you don't believe me, you can even go look this up. It's confirmed everywhere. When my friend first told me, I was like, "You're bullshitting," and then a couple of weeks later, I saw it, and I was like, "Oh shit, you were right." Like, Whis actually told Goku, like, "Hey, if you kill Bills, you'll take his position," and Goku didn't want that. Maybe that's why he didn't want to kill him. Maybe that's why he didn't want to beat him. I don't know. There's just so many plot holes in this. Akira Toriyama made a great movie, and I just wish it was longer. And I do wish that he followed up with it, but, I mean, do I think Goku would ever kill Bills? Absolutely not. Even if he wanted to, I don't think he can. Because if Goku kills Bills, then he's going to have to take that responsibility of becoming the God of Destruction, and I don't think Goku wants that at all. So do I think Whis just said that so he couldn't kill Bills off? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, what would be the logic behind that, I could see Whis, telling telling Goku, "Hey, if you kill him," as a warning perhaps. But in terms of, thinking that Goku wouldn't kill him, I'm not too sure about that, because in the movie Goku looked like he wanted to kill him, but he couldn't because Bills was so damn strong. So, but in my personal opinion, I really do think that if Goku doesn't get his shit straight, then he's never going to beat Bills, like, ever, To answer your second question, I've never heard of that person, and now that I'm looking at it, if he does Legend of Zelda and Pikmin and whatnot, I mean, I might as well just go check him out. I check a lot of people out. There have been so many of you guys that I do look at, and I do watch your videos. Sometimes I might say something in your video, sometimes I may not, but I do watch a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys are coming up very good. A lot of you guys do need a lot of improvement, but in terms of this particular person, I'll definitely give him a try, To answer your third question, what freaks me out more, Slender or The Last of Us? Well, I mean, in terms of video game wise, I would have to say Slender, because once you crank the volume up and once you have your headsets on, or once you're playing in the dark or whatnot, it really becomes eerie. Like, it just becomes so freaking hard to concentrate, because you're constantly trying to look around you to see if there's nothing in your room or whatever. Whereas in The Last of Us, I'm so interested in the story, and I'm still playing it. I hope you guys are still watching my Let's Play on that. It's just The Last of Us is such a great game, and so far from all the Let's Plays I've done, I haven't been scared whatsoever. I mean, I loved the tension, I loved the way everything was, but was I ever scared? Absolutely not. So I would have to say Slender. To answer your fourth question, fuck Yamcha. He'd be slaughtered. I mean, well, then again, Yamcha does possess some otherworldly abilities like the Kamehameha and whatnot. So, but having to see him trying to blast Slender, that'd be kind of weird, But throughout it all, I would say F Yamcha, Slender all the way, just without a doubt. And to answer your last question, wouldn't you considered? I mean, Runaway guys and Chugga. Well, I mean, aren't they the same thing then? Because if they're a part of, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of confusing. You're saying that he's one of the 3 people on the channel, so you would have to say that, in my opinion, if I'm the first, then Runaway has to be the second because Chug is a part of the Runaways. So I mean, at least that for me, that's what I would assume. You know, if I'm your favorite YouTuber and then Chug comes second and the Runaways come third, that wouldn't make no sense because Chug is Runaways. So ultimately, Runaways would have to be second because he's a part of that. So he is kind of second. Like they're both second in a sense. But thank you for your questions, Alyssa. On to the next question, which is from Fusion Shard Productions. Hi, Alex. I'm a big fan, and you inspired me to start my channel, so please answer my questions. Really? I inspired you, man? That's a great feeling. Thank you. Question number 1. What your video recording setup? Oh, so what's my video recording? You forgot the S there, buddy. All right. And how do you get your videos so clear? I've seen a lot of gameplay videos and graphics, and they usually suck. Question 2. I am a big DBZ fan, and I thought of a what if Super Saiyan 5 had a child that wouldn't be Eternal Dragon but born at the same time, making the child into Super Saiyan 5. If so, would he take on the appearance of a Super Saiyan 5 all the time, but not have the power level until he turns into one? Well, that's a very interesting question. Question 3, how'd you get the DBZ MMO game? Question 4, if your wrestling career doesn't work out, and I know it will work out, so bear with me, what would you do personally? I can see you becoming an anime writer. Just my opinion. Well, that's pretty interesting. Question 5. Will you ever combine channels with anyone, Paul, etc.? Well, actually, me and Paul talked about that last year, but I'll get into that. Question 6. Why do you hate Yamcha? It makes sense, but why do you hate Yamcha? But at the same time, it doesn't. The enemies, he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. So he keeps. I see what you're saying because the enemies keep getting stronger. Well, I'll explain that right now. I will be grateful in the future. I'll be grateful if you feature me in fan mail. Keep making people happy by doing what you have to do. Hope you get into the WWE. Oh, and who in the WWE do you think can beat? Do you think you can beat in a match? Thanks, Fusion Shard Productions. Thank you, man. God, I'm reading this all fucking because I'm thirsty. That's why, like, I can't freaking focus. All right, to answer your first question, my recording setup is the HD PVR. I use that to record my PC stuff. I use that to record my gameplays through my Xbox and PS3. The setup is just go to Sony Vegas and just look for the best conversion. I normally use WMV or MP4. Like, those are always the best to do. And graphics-wise, all you need to do is just touch it up by using the color corrector, and that's pretty much it from there. You just need to upload it, and that's that. To answer your second question, a Super Saiyan 5 child. I could have swore I heard that before. I mean, it could be XU or it could not be, but having a Super Saiyan 5 as a child, that would be so fucking insane, because can you imagine a child was born with the power of like a Super Saiyan 5? Man, you would have to like mate or conceive with a god or something like that in order for that to happen. But I do think that over a long period of time, that child will develop powers that are just unmatchable. Like, I do believe that he might take on the form of a Super Saiyan 5. Perhaps maybe having little white hairs and whatnot, like a little white tail. And then as he gets older, he has more hair, a lot more muscle. His tail becomes a lot bigger and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I believe as a child, he will have extreme amount of power. But as an adult, I do believe that as an adult, he would be able to rip universes apart, because that with that kind of power, I mean, even though it's not canon and it's not a part of any manga, it's just a fan-made thing. A Super Saiyan 5, in terms of fan fiction, is equivalent to, I think, what was it, like 10 Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas or something like that. It's just, it's a very large number, because Super Saiyan 5 is like the final level, but it's just so damn powerful. So I do think he wouldn't have the appearance of a Super Saiyan 5 all the time, but definitely the power of one. And I do believe his appearance might change as he gets older, because that only makes sense, like when you're a baby, you start off bald or whatever, then when you get older, you have hair, so. To answer your third question, me and Paul, you just download it. Just go to Google, just type in Dragon Ball MMO, Dragon Ball Online, and just download it. Granted, you have to follow the instructions. They're not easy to do, but you have to just follow the instructions. I can't even like begin. I don't even know where to begin, actually, to tell you where to begin, downloading from. But just download the game. And then from there, you just have to patch up a few things and whatnot, and that's pretty much that. Just download the game. It's free, so you can just do that and play it. It's an amazing game. I mean, you've seen my Let's Plays on it. It's just incredible. It's a really fun game. To answer your fourth question, all right. Well, I can understand where you're coming from, and in my heart, I do believe that my wrestling career will grow great. I mean, there's no doubting about that. I really don't have any doubt in that little factor. But let's say, for example, it doesn't work out, right? Which I'm really, hoping that it does. But let's say it doesn't work out, right? I'm still gonna be on YouTube. Probably something that I wanted to do would probably be going into film, going into college and going to film for whatnot. Maybe learning to do graphic design, make my own video games or something like that. Like just being on. Like, all right, number one, I'm never gonna leave YouTube. Even if I go to the WWE, I'm never going to leave YouTube. I'm never going to leave YouTube. I'm always gonna be around. I'm always gonna be here, and I'm always gonna be on this channel. And if God forbid something happens to this channel, I'm still gonna be around. I'm never gonna give this up because I'm the type of person who just wants to be open with people. I'm not really like too much of a private person where I keep everything to myself and I keep my opinions to myself. No, I mean, I want to share my opinions. I want to hear your opinions. I want to interact with people, get to know people, meet new people. Like, that's always fun. That's what I think, people should do these days, is interact with each other, just be nice with each other, just have a great time, just be open, not just being closed, and being closed-minded and whatnot. But ultimately, if that didn't work out for me, I would most likely just get into the gaming business, honestly. To answer your fifth question, combining channels, me and Paul tried doing that. We were talking about it last year, like having like a channel where we would both upload at the same time and just do like a quad com or like a dual com and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think for our little, best interests, for us at least, we just wanted to like just keep it the way it is now. Maybe in the future, me and Paul might just do something together. You never really know. I mean, technically, if you look at it, we are a combined channel because whatever me and Paul do, we feature on my channel. Whatever me and Paul do again, we feature on his channel. It's like an ongoing thing. I love Paul. He's one of my best friends, man. I love the kid to death. He's an amazing person. So I mean, we talked about that last year, and I mean, we kind of had like agreements and disagreements on it, but ultimately, I think this was the best setup. So who knows? I mean, maybe in the future we might do something. So I don't know. And to answer your last question, I do understand where you're coming from because Yamcha always does take on people that are stronger than him. But Yamcha just sucks as a character because he never trains. Everybody else gets destroyed or just decimated. They always come back and they train harder just to come back and fight harder. Yamcha doesn't do that. Yamcha gets beat up and he just stays down like a wuss. Like that character. He is like the worst character of them all. Like, he's one of them. I mean, aside from Hercule, Yamcha gets beat up. He doesn't train for shit. He just freaking sits around in his ass and just doesn't do anything. So that's my views on Yamcha. But thank you for your questions, man. On to the next question, which is from Ray Hart. Hi, these are my questions for fan mail. I hope you read it on your next fan mail video. All right, here we go. Here it is. Question number 1. What DLC characters would you want to see in DBZ Battle of Z? Question 2. If you could make a DBZ movie, what would it be called and what would it be about? Oh my god, I've answered that question so many times, but I'll answer it again. Question 3. What is your favorite Call of Duty game of all time and why? Question 4. Why do you make YouTube vids and why? Question 5. Want to play ZEQ2 with me? K, that is it. And again, I hope this makes it to your fan mail vid. Love your vids. Keep up the good work. P.S. Lots of love and support, Ray Hart. Thank you, Mr. Ray. Lots of love for you too, brother. Thank you so much. To answer your first question, what DLC characters would I like to see in DBZ Battle of Z? I would love to see Super 17. I would love to see Baby. I would love to see Omega Shenron. I would love to see Nova Shenron. I would love to see Ice Shenron. I would love to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, possibly some what-if characters like SS3 Trunks, perhaps maybe have Majub in there. Majub would be pretty damn good to have. Also include some never-before-seen characters like perhaps maybe a Super Saiyan 4 Gohan for once. Maybe Super Saiyan 4 Trunks, adult version of Gotenks, like, Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta, stuff like that. I mean, I would love to see that. But personally, those are my little views on it. So, I mean, we really don't know how far they're going to go with the DLC characters, but, I mean, let's just see what happens with that. To answer your second question, if I could make a DBZ movie, what would it be called and what would it be about? Aside from having to do with Bills and Whis, I would somehow incorporate a Super Saiyan 3 Vegito or Gogeta in the film, and I would call it perhaps maybe Wrath of the Gods. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna go back to Bills and Whis. I would include those two, and I would make it to where Bills and Whis probably fought Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. Being that Super Saiyan 3 Vegito is so overpowered, Bills is having a tough time fighting him. And when Whis comes along, Whis actually competes with SS3 Vegito. And Vegito realizes this, and then he just transforms into a god or whatnot. And he's able to, fight from there. But aside from that, another movie that I would do is probably another Broly movie. Where Pikkon and Goku go to hell to calm Broly down. Broly's down there beating up Cell, beating up Frieza, beating up everybody. And then as they beat up Broly, Broly gets so mad that he just transforms into a Super Saiyan 3. And then from there, he just takes on Pikkon and Goku. And then, from there, you can just include so much. But definitely another Broly movie. That's what I would do. I mean, everybody loves Broly. I love Broly. So, to answer your third question, favorite Call of Duty game of all time and why? I'm stuck between Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Modern Warfare 1 because it was the first game that started everything, so to say. So without the first game, there wouldn't be a second game. But I would have to say also Modern Warfare 2 because Modern Warfare 2 did, set the bar, so to say, for online games because Modern Warfare 2 was such a great game. You were able to do so much. You had tactical nukes and you had all these unique kill streaks and whatnot. It was and the maps were so unique, so great. So for me, I would have to say Modern Warfare 2. In terms of multiplayer alone, if we're talking alternative game, modes, I would have to say Black Ops 2 for just for zombies alone. To answer your fourth question, why do I make YouTube videos? I make YouTube videos for the same exact reason I made YouTube videos 6 years ago. I started YouTube 6 years ago, and I made it because I wanted to show people how my life was. That's what I'm doing now. I've always wanted to do this since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to record my games and show everybody in the world. I tried doing that a long time ago by recording my freaking gameplays on a VCR cassette. And for those of you out there who are actually old school like I am, you would know exactly how I used to do that. You used to plug in your TV into your VCR, and then your VCR used to automatically just pick up from there and just record on a blank tape. Even though that really didn't get anywhere, I mean, it was still pretty cool to see how I was able to, record my games and have it on a VCR tape. That's how old, I started doing this. I actually started doing YouTube in a sense way before even YouTube existed, on VHS tapes. And when YouTube came out, I started very slowly, and I just, accumulated from there. And here I am today. And I'm going to do YouTube until the day I die. And is there any reason behind it? I don't care about the money. I don't care about anything else. I just care about showing you guys, telling you guys, and giving you guys my opinions on certain things. Having fun, having a group of people to, recreate memories and just recreate and create moments that can never be, be baffled upon ever again. I mean, just because I've had so many moments in the past where I never capture carded it and I never showed anybody it that I really wish I can go back and show people, because I've had so many great moments on video games that I wish I were to capture and just have it for the rest of my life, but unfortunately I can't. So this is why I do YouTube now, for the sake of memories and for the sake of looking back one day and saying, wow, those were some of the greatest days that I've ever had. You know what I mean? To answer your fifth question, whenever you want to play ZQ2 Lite, we can play ZQ2 Lite, as long as somebody creates a good enough server that we can actually transform for once. God, man. Some of these servers you can't really transform, and I don't know why. Jesus. Anyways, thank you for the question, man. On to the next question, which is from Jay Whip. What is up, Alex, my friend? I'm Jay, but you can call me Whip. If you want, I'm from England, and I got some questions here for you, and I hope you answered them. So, here I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Question 1. If you had the Dragon Balls and could have only one wish, would you A, help poor countries with their lack of food, B, stop there from ever being a war, or C, use the wish on yourself? Damn, that is a good question. Question number 2. If you can make one bad guy or girl from DBZ a hero, who would it be and why? Question 3. My friends think DBZ is for kids and sometimes make fun of me. What should I do? It does not offend me. It's just getting annoying. Thanks for everything you do, and I hope you live a long and happy life. Thank you, man. That really right there just means, that means a lot. I mean, for people to care for me like that, I'm telling you. I mean, when I was growing up, not that many people cared for me. But P.S. Fuck you, Paul, you squid asshole. Fucking P.S.S. Can't wait for the new Dragon Ball Z Battle Z. P.S.S. I have a nice chair for you. Oh, fucking asshole. All right. To answer your first question, what would I do? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. The very first thing I would do is I would prevent war. Yes, there are a lot of starving children on this planet, and people are dying from starvation, but honestly, war is definitely just something that is on a global scale. People die from that more than they do from hunger, and God forbid a third world war would break out, in which case, in my personal opinion, I do believe that we are on the verge and on the horizon of a World War III. You just look at some of the things that are going on in Egypt, Syria, Iran, China, United States, Russia. There's a lot of tension, and with the way things are going now, it's only getting worse. And I really pray to the Almighty God and Jesus in heaven that there is no World War III, because guess what, guys? If a World War III were to break out, I'm dead, you're dead, we're all dead. I mean, how many of you right now can sit there and say that you can survive a nuclear explosion? And actually, a lot of people might comment saying, oh, well, Chuck Norris can survive a nuclear explosion, or Goku can survive a nuclear explosion, or, Oprah Winfrey's vagina can withstand a nuclear explosion. But the bottom line is, we're talking, like, with all seriousness, how many of you guys can actually survive a thermonuclear war? You know what I mean? That's just impossible. So for me, I would prevent war personally, I would prevent war, period. No more war. That would be my mojo. No war. And a lot of people might think, oh, well, that's gay. Because I actually had a video that I released on Far Cry 3 not too long ago where I was talking about that. And a lot of people were, disagreeing. They were saying, oh, no, there should be war. There should be war. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Why would you want to see, stuff like that go down? But honestly, I would get rid of war, to be honest with you. So war would go for sure. To answer your second question, who would I make a hero? That is very difficult. I would say perhaps maybe Cooler. Now I know that may sound a little weird. And the reason why I would do that is because I would have it to where Frieza comes back and he's wreaking havoc all over the place. Cooler comes back, he's wreaking havoc all over the place. Somewhere along the lines, Frieza gets really greedy and tries to pretty much, destroy everything for himself. He wants to be greedy. He just wants to do everything all by himself. No help. Blah blah blah. Fuck everybody. That would be Frieza's mojo. And somewhere along the line, I guess Cooler has enough, and he grew a heart. And he's like, you know what? Wait a minute, I thought we were going to agree to do this, not what you're doing. So Frieza says, oh, if you won't be with me, then you're against me. And they fight for a minute, and then, Cooler can annihilate. I think Cooler would be a great hero. Well, technically he's not as ruthless as Frieza, because even though the Cooler movies aren't canon, a lot of people often say, oh, well, Cooler is more powerful and Cooler is more ruthless. If you look at what Frieza's been doing, I think it's evident that Frieza is a lot more cold-hearted than Cooler is. We never really saw Cooler do much. We saw Frieza blow an entire planet up of Saiyans. We saw him murder Bardock. We saw him murder, Krillin. We saw him murder Vegeta. All freaking Cooler did was blast a hole inside Piccolo. That was pretty much it, So I would have to say Cooler for one. Another hero, aside from Android 18, would be Android 17. At one point, he did become a hero, but it wasn't like a hero. I would have had it to where, 17, 18, and 16 were to turn on Cell and, just try to fight Cell off. Like, for example, like maybe 17 realizes, like, hey, like everything we've been doing was wrong, but this guy needs to be stopped because what he's doing is just on a whole nother level. So I would have made it to where 17 is a hero as well, because 17 was a hero in a sense, because we did see him during the Majin Buu saga, in the wilderness with a shotgun and shit like that, but he wasn't killing people, he was just hunting. So definitely 17, until they butchered him in Dragon Ball GT, which is not canon. And I hope you guys go check out my previous Dragon Ball Z What If battle between Baby and Super 17. That's a very great fight. You guys would love that. But aside from that, I would say those two for now. And to answer your last question, bro, listen to me, man. People who want to ridicule other people, for watching a certain thing, what good does that make them? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that somewhere along the lines, they're still fans of some of their old school childhood stuff. You know what I mean? For you, I would have to say ignore it, because that's what I do. I mean, there were several people a very long time ago that were like, oh, you watch Dragon Ball Z, that shit's fucking gay. And I'm just like, no, you're fucking stupid, because Dragon Ball Z isn't like Hello Kitty. Dragon Ball Z is not Barney. Dragon Ball Z is not Sesame Street. Dragon Ball Z isn't something stupid. Dragon Ball Z can actually help you with morals, with guidance, how to actually have willpower, how to train harder than you ever trained in your life, how to, have respect and be humble, how to actually try to overcome the odds even when the situation is dire, how to fight even when all hope is lost. That's what Dragon Ball Z is. Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot of symbolism behind it. A lot of good and bad symbolism. There's a lot of Illuminati symbolism in Dragon Ball Z. There's a lot of, satanic Dragon Ball Z symbolism. Like, for example, Mr. Satan, aka Hercule, whatnot. But if you take away the symbolism for a minute and you look at some of the morals of Dragon Ball Z, it teaches you how to be a better person. I mean, personally for me, I never would have known how I would turn out if I never watched Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is by far an inspiration, because I don't know about now, because Dragon Ball Z Kai absolutely sucks in my opinion, and the only reason why Dragon Ball Z Kai sucks is because Bruce Falconer is no longer in the mix anymore. He's actually gone. He's not doing the same original music like he used to. And number two, the voice actors are lazy as shit. They're not trying anymore, and they're just there like for example, like back then when they used to power up like, rah! But now it's like, like they're not really powering up as much, you know what I mean? They're not putting any effort into their work. So for those for those people that want to make fun of you and shit, if I were you, I would just ignore it. I wouldn't even pay mind to it. I would just be like, oh yeah, you got something better? What do you guys do for a living? Like, what do you guys like that is just so much better than Dragon Ball Z? Like, that's your opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and it stinks. So, cause trust me, I got made fun of so many times, I remember back in the day, I was like maybe 16 years old. I had a friend who was 24. He was like, oh, you fucking watch Dragon Ball Z? That shit is fucking gay, man. That shit's for bitches. And I'm just like, all right, how is this show for bitches if it's showing, violence and blood and just battles, like epic battles? It's not like they're playing fucking hopscotch. These guys are beating the shit out of each other. Even though they're not human, they're still beating the living shit out of each other. You know what I mean? It's a fight. It's a fight that uses many different areas of expertise and different techniques, different arts. It's not just kick punch, it's martial arts as well. A lot of people can relate that to MMA, UFC. Because for example, what is MMA and UFC? MMA and UFC are martial arts. They're different art styles like Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, Taekwondo and all that kind of stuff. Whereas in Dragon Ball Z also incorporates that. A little bit of wrestling when they take down each other and they're brawling. A little bit of boxing when they're fucking just pounding each other's face in with nothing but their fists. A little bit of Taekwondo and Muay Thai when they're kicking the fucking brains out of each other. A little bit of magic when they're freaking tossing and turning and using spirit bombs and final kamehamehas and big bangs and spirit bombs and final flashes and, special beam cannons and Masenkos and destructo discs and death beams and final explosions. That shit is epic. So for those people to sit there and say, oh, that shit is stupid, they're fucking stupid. Their opinions are irrelevant, and they shouldn't even exist on this planet to begin with. Because if you don't give something a try, you don't know what it's really going to turn out to be. Especially for you, you know what I mean? If you never give something a try, you never know how it might turn out for you. I never gave Walking Dead a chance. I gave it a chance. I fell in love. I never gave PS3 a chance. What happened? I got it, I sold it, and I bought it back years later. I still gave it a chance. I always came back to it, give something a chance. If you don't truly like it, then you don't like it, but just don't sit there and just watch one episode or just watch like a couple of minutes and say fuck this. Give it a chance. I'm willing to give Naruto a chance when I go see my friend Paul. So it's for people to say it's stupid, they're the moronic ones. They're a bunch of maroons. So don't worry about it, dude. Just move on and just enjoy what you love, man. Like, it's your life. You watch what you want to watch. So you do what you want to do ultimately. But thank you for your question, man. Anyways, everybody, that's all the time that I have for today's fan mail, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, guys, if you guys are fans, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Rape and sodomize that thumbs up button, guys. Also, guys, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe for all the latest news, information, and updates that regard any video game and upcoming event / entertainment, anything that has to do with anything, everybody. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm about to take a little nap because I'm a little tired, but then again, I'm a little hungry. Even though I had to cut this fan mail just a little short, remember, guys, this is like one of my first days back here, so I have to just recuperate. But nonetheless, everybody, stay tuned for next week's fan mail, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys later. Peace!